Welcome to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Gabe Glassman. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Our top stories this week, it's going to be hot, hot, hot this weekend. How can you stay safe? And it's the end of a months-long debate as Madison Utilities stops adding fluoride to its water. We've got community reaction and a look inside their water treatment facility.
Our temperatures are climbing and humidity on the rise. This means the risk of heat-related illnesses is increasing across the Tennessee Valley. Decatur Fire and Rescue say staying hydrated is key. They say hydration is essential during daily activities, especially for older adults, where extreme heat can worsen existing health conditions. Even routine tasks like walking the dog or gardening can quickly lead to overheating if you're not properly prepared. Officials say taking small breaks in the shade and drinking fluids regularly can make a big difference.
You got to get that body prepared for the hot, long days. So, continuous hydration, water, Gatorades, electrolytes, those kind of things. And then, of course, pace yourself, even normal activities like mowing the yard or taking the trash out to the street.
The Alabama Department of Public Health has also released tips to help you recognize and prevent heat-related illness. You can find those resources on our website, FOX54.com. Madison Utilities is officially putting an end to the fluoridation of city water, citing concerns for worker safety and corrosion in water treatment facilities. That change going into effect after months of deliberation and lots of anger from residents. A major concern, the impact on our kids' teeth. Getting rid of fluoride in city water can cause greater amounts of tooth decay, according to one UAB study comparing Blount and Jefferson counties here in Alabama. Blount County, which is 18% fluoridated, saw almost 25% higher rates of tooth decay than Jefferson County, which is almost entirely fluoridated. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo has more on how this change will impact your health.
There's no more fluoride in the water here in the city of Madison. That's the latest today after rounds of conversations and meetings involving Madison Utilities. Residents outraged over the extra care and costs associated with getting their child the fluoride they need. Madison Utilities, on the other hand, saying fluoride is an unnecessary addition that causes all kinds of problems in Madison's treatment facilities. One of those problems, rust and corrosion in the facility where the water is mixed with the chemical. Madison Utilities also has concerns with the safety of the workers who mix those substances. Some parents saying Madison needs to learn a lesson in facility maintenance from nearby water treatment plants.
Why are we not able to do the same as other cities? I don't know why we're refusing to continue to provide that service to people here in Madison. We're concerned about a lot of things. We're concerned about traffic, we're concerned about rezoning, we're concerned about now cutting fluoride in our water system. I mean, it seems that it's building up a lot. I love this community, but I want for people to be safe here, be happy.
One local pediatric dentist, Dr. Marcus Moss, says it's not a matter of if, but when we'll start to notice the detrimental effects.
We're more than likely going to see an increase in tooth decay. Dental decay is the #1 childhood disease, which already affects more children than asthma. The impact of that is more missed days from school. Madison is always considered one of the highest performing school districts in the state and the country. And so we may even start to see that they start to drop in the rankings because kids are missing many more days of school.
With the change going into effect today, Dr. Moss says it's critical for kids to avoid specifically acidic foods that can destroy young teeth. Some of those, processed foods like gummy vitamins, candy, Gatorade, and juices. In Madison, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
We reached out to Madison Utilities and did hear back, but water manager David Moore was unavailable today. We'll have a tour of the water treatment facility for you this Friday, so be sure to tune in.
Madison Utilities is looking to open a new water treatment facility, and that vision comes with a shift in how the city approaches public water. As officials begin to remove fluoride from the system, they're also assessing how the additive has impacted infrastructure over time. Inside the existing plant, damage from decades of fluoride use is hard to miss. Corroded pipes and aging components has led to the need for a new space. Leaders say that wear and tear is one of several reasons the conversation of the removal of fluoride began. Madison Utility says it's unsure how much the damage cost over time, but says the facility will be able to hold more capacity to keep up with city growth. We were able to tour the facility this morning to see the damage for ourselves. Representatives we spoke to declined to speak on camera about the ongoing situation. And we've got a pair of traffic alerts with two big road projects that could affect your daily commute.
As work begins to fix damage on the Upper River Bridge on I-65 bridge, another project is helping to prevent future incidents from happening. Back on April 28th, a tractor trailer carrying an excavator going southbound struck the bridge. Plans were already in place to raise the bridge prior to the incident, but recent events require more extensive work. Our Kim McCoy has more on why this project is more about the law than height.
The Upper River Bridge on I-65 is about to get a major upgrade, but the story behind the fix goes deeper than a dented girder. While an accident in April left visible damage,
raising these bridges was included in the resurfacing project.
Seth Burke with AlDOT says plans to raise the bridge were already locked in weeks before an overheight load clipped it.
We opened bids on the project in late March, awarded the project in early April to Rogers Group. Contract amount is about $16.1 million. Then in late April, there was an incident where a piece of equipment that was improperly loaded onto a trailer traveling down I-65 struck the bridge, damaged the girders of the bridge. And meanwhile, we began working with Rogers Group to come up with a price for the repair of that bridge as part of the project.
So while the impact didn't spark the upgrade, it did tack on some extra repair work. But the real reason the bridge is going up, it's about height and the law.
Standard clearance is 16 feet for an overpass over an interstate. So the bridge on Upper River Road is 15 feet 11 inches.
That 1 inch shortfall puts the bridge below federal clearance standards in metro areas. And AlDOT isn't just meeting the standards, they're exceeding it.
So we want to reach that standard clearance, but we're going to go ahead and raise it up an additional 13 inches. So it's going to be 17 feet when this project is concluded.
And getting there means traffic troubles are on the horizon.
I-65 is going to be reduced to 1 lane southbound. That's obviously going to create some traffic. We anticipate significant delays on I-65. Motorists should be aware of that, plan for that in advance.
So if you're traveling I-65 near Priceville, start thinking detours now. The Upper River Road Bridge will close June 26 and could stay closed for several weeks. In Priceville, Kim McCoy, Fox 54 News.
Just a reminder, AlDOT will close the outside southbound lane and shoulder of I-65 at Upper River Road, 7 p.m. Saturday, June 28th through 6 a.m. Wednesday, July 2nd, to repair the Upper River Road overpass bridge. The closure will reduce southbound traffic to a single 10-foot lane. For all of your traffic updates, visit FOX54.com.
Traffic impact alert for you today. Drivers in Madison and Limestone County, get ready for a detour. A busy intersection is getting a safety upgrade, but in the meantime, you'll need to find a new route for your daily commute. Construction starts Monday, June 23rd at the intersection of Wall Triana Highway and McKee Road. Crews will install a new roundabout as part of Madison County's efforts to improve traffic flow and safety. Fox 54's Kim McCoy spoke to Madison County Commissioner Phil Vandiver on why this upgrade was necessary.
It's a daily drive for many, but soon this intersection at Wall Triana Highway and McKee Road will shut down completely as construction crews begin work on a long-awaited roundabout.
This is one of several that we're putting in. This is one that we finally got all the utilities moved out of the way and everything's ready to go.
District 4 Commissioner Phil Vandiver says this project is a part of Madison County's broader plan to improve traffic flow and make dangerous intersections safer.
This intersection is actually one of the most dangerous in Madison County. We had been working on this one for an extended time to get it started because in our data that we get on traffic accidents, we looked at it and noticed how serious this intersection was.
Vandiver says the improvements won't stop with this project. Plans are already in motion for more upgrades in the area, especially with how often drivers rely on McKee Road.
There's a lot of that northeast limestone county that uses McKee Road to get into Huntsville. They work at the Arsenal, and this is a great way for them to go. Normally, we see that. We're already looking at the next McKee Road intersection, which will be Old Railroad Bed. It'll be another one of our ARPA-funded projects that we'll be getting started as soon as they get the utilities moved out of the way.
In the meantime, drivers should expect delays, but also look at the bigger picture.
We feel like this will, if not stop all the accidents, it will definitely decrease the number of accidents. I think what I would look at is the end results of making a safer intersection versus a little bit of inconvenience in the short time will make it a whole lot better.
To get the job done safely and efficiently, the entire intersection will be closed until October 31st, weather permitting. In Madison, Ken McCoy, Fox 54 News.
Thank you, Ken. For a map and list of detailed alternate routes, you can visit our website, fox54.com. Next, we take you to a town hall in Huntsville's District 1, where Councilmember Michelle Watkins addressed both community concerns and a very disturbing letter.
District 1 council member for the city of Huntsville, Michelle Watkins, standing with Huntsville city leaders tonight to address residents' concerns. They had a lot of questions to field, from roads to a proposed sewer rate increase to ongoing projects in the city. People spoke out about the issues affecting them, and one issue affecting Councilmember Watkins, a racist letter she received last week demeaning her. But Watkins says she feels supported and she'll keep fighting to bring positive change to her district.
I'm great. Just going to be honest with you. I prayed for that individual because it is something wrong with them. And I'm going to continue the work that I'm doing for my district and stay focused on the issues. A lot of people reached out. A lot of people told me how sorry they were about it. It felt good to have the support. But at the end of the day, you have to remember when you're in this position, sometimes people are going to say things that don't sound nice. But, it comes with the territory. So I just take it with my chin up. I'm really excited to have District 1 come out and support the efforts and to come out and show that they love their community and they're concerned. The turnout definitely reflects how much they care. And I tell people all the time, District 1 is the bright, shining star in the city of Huntsville. And people love their community and they're committed to staying in District 1. And every day I see District 1 getting better and better. So it makes me happy.
Some of the initiatives they covered tonight: new sewer system investments across Huntsville requiring a rate increase, several roadwork projects inside the city limits, work to limit speeding and traffic hazards, beautifying North Huntsville, repaving our roadways, and pedestrian safety.
What else is happening around the Tennessee Valley? We take you to Decatur for a swearing-in ceremony, Florence for a city hall update, and back to Huntsville for a rally.
Tonight, the city of Decatur officially has its new first ever Deputy Chief of Police. Deputy Chief Eric Stisher was sworn in this afternoon, just weeks after Tory Mack was sworn in as chief. During his speech, Stisher spoke about the importance of rebuilding community trust, including between police officers and captains, something community members were excited to hear about.
Not only the command team, but the officers need to get out of the car and do correct community policing. And some of them may be doing it already. Monday was my first day. I haven't had to have great conversations with our officers, just basically an introduction. So yes, if the chief is out there, if I'm out there leading by example, we expect you to do what we do.
You need to know the community that you serve. So I think they're on the right path. We're getting out here in the community and the chief is out here. That's great.
You have an opportunity to fuse that relationship, to bring the two groups together so that you do have a relationship where they understand each other, and then, you bring down the aggressive interactions between the two groups. So I think community policing is first. It should always be the number one way to go.
If you want to view the full swearing-in ceremony, you can check it out on Fox 54 Plus or on fox54.com. We also have a sit-down with both Mack and Stisher available to watch on demand. Florence City Council voted tonight to decide the architect for a new roughly $48 million City Hall building. The plan is a 70,000 square foot facility meant to replace the outdated City Hall building just a block away. Contractors are currently demolishing the old city parking deck, the proposed site for development. The building's design should take roughly 6 to 10 months to plan, and construction will begin after another vote from City Council to award the construction bid. Not all City Council members are on board with the project scale. Council President Katrina Simmons describes the vote tonight, saying she's concerned about the cost. Mayor Andy Betterton saying the new City Hall is a needed change for the city.
I do have some concerns about the cost of it, and more of my concern is that it runs over if it goes out of budget. I know what we've borrowed, but if it goes out of budget with change orders. So that is a major concern of mine tonight. And tonight with the vote tonight is strictly just about allowing the architect to start the design work on it.
It's got leaks, it's got asbestos, it's got mold. The windows are not, energy efficient. The roof's got problems. We could not remodel that structure because of restrictions with, ADA compliance, with fire suppression, with all those things. So this is going to bring us up, I guess, with technology to move us forward for another, hopefully, 70 or 80 years.
A lot of the concern leading to its construction is with mold, roof leaks, asbestos, and outdated equipment in the old building. But despite pushback from the community at tonight's meeting, the council chose Lambert Ezell Durham Architecture LLC to design the new building. With all current estimations, the project is set to finish within a year and a half.
No Kings, a common slogan across North Alabama today as residents of the Tennessee Valley joined protests happening all over the nation. Protests right here in Huntsville were among them. Their contention, presidential policies and agendas protesters say hurts American citizens. FOX54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to the scene right here in Huntsville.
Let's take a quick look out here at this crowd. Hundreds, if not thousands, protesting the Trump administration in a nationwide No Kings Day. Participants angry about the administration's policies since Trump's inauguration back in January. I talked to some of the protesters out here today. Here's what they have to say.
I'd like to come out and show people that it's okay to object to what's going on, and those who feel like they have to hide and not share their voices and stories, those of us who can will do it for you.
They can't just roll over us. We don't have a lot of power individually. We can call our senators and our congresspeople, but individually we don't have as much power as we do together.
I have a lot of friends that come from immigrant families, and so seeing all of the stuff with immigration happening right now and people being deported and families being separated, that makes my heart feel really sad. And there's no reason for that to be happening right now without due process.
We just want to do our duty. We want to exercise our constitutional right to protest. We want to advocate for change. We want to advocate for health care. We want to make sure Medicaid is protected.
I think when people stop listening, I think that's when we're in trouble. Like if you can't open your mind and listen to the other side and be understanding as to why somebody else is upset, how can you do anything?
Look, I don't mind celebrating the military and so forth, but for his birthday, that's something like that Vladimir Putin does or something like that. That's not part of the American way, in my opinion. Immigrant rights are very important. I think his trade policies are very problematic, and they're going to be quite harmful to Americans over time. There's also this personal liberties issues, right? Free speech, the ability to protest, that kind of stuff.
It does mean a lot to be able to protest. I mean, I'm not with the people who, throw rocks and, have firework cannons. I don't agree with that. I don't think we should do that. The goal is to be peaceful, to not do anything crazy, to respect the law, but we also want respect to protest and share our viewpoints and our opinions.
Many say the goal to spread awareness about those affected by the Trump administration's actions and executive orders. The hope to express how they feel to policymakers and to show people there are strength in numbers.
And it was a busy tornado season across North Alabama. Meteorologist Emily Owen has a final tally of how many warnings and tornadoes we had and how this year compares to the previous. The Tennessee Valley may become part of the tornado alley. That's according to data from the National Weather Service. In fact, the number of tornadoes this season is the highest we've seen over the last 10 years. Fox 54 weather impact meteorologist Emily Owen breaks down the science for us.
Well, the spring severe weather season has come to an end across the Tennessee Valley. The spring season is usually when we see the most tornadoes develop across the area. Notice March has seen a total of 97 from 1951 until today. So this graphic is up to date. 181 in April is the total and 136 in May. So I wanted to look back at the past 10 meteorological springs and how it related to the number of confirmed tornadoes that we have seen. Now, meteorological spring, that's when meteorologists they collect all of the data, and that's what they use as a pinpoint for certain things. This runs from March the 1st until May the 31st. So notice back in 2015, we only had 3 confirmed tornadoes. And once we get closer to 2025, the numbers do start to increase a little bit. We're at 11 in 2022, 19 last year, and we have seen 29 tornadoes for this meteorological spring. Now, Tornado Alley, it's not a real location. It hasn't been defined. It's just theoretical, but Tornado Alley is usually known for west of us here in the Tennessee Valley. But getting into more of the data, more of the scientific evidence, it does show that Tornado Alley could potentially be shifting. Now, that has not been a thing so far, but evidence does prove that potentially Tornado Alley could shift and include the Tennessee Valley here, because notice these tornado tracks, they start to get more and more frequent as we get closer into the area, especially here in the southeast. It tends to see the most confirmed tornadoes throughout 1950 from about 2024.
Let's wrap up this week with a pair of Juneteenth celebrations in Huntsville. First, we'll go to the Village Reset, where the focus was on community dialogue, and then to the Trash Pandas, where local Negro League players were honored. Community conversations taking place over in North Huntsville as part of the first Juneteenth being celebrated locally as a state holiday. Panelists talking to hundreds of people about the community's core values and the path forward. Hosted by County Commissioner Violet Edwards, today was all about education. The event was branded the Village Reset, and it featured panelists from across the Huntsville community. The goal, to bring people together for a day of learning and listening. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the celebration.
Juneteenth, for tens of millions of Americans, it's the story of freedom and the decades-long fight for equal footing. That's what almost 200 people celebrated today at the Bob Harrison Center on Pulaski Pike. It started with a pouring of libations for those who spent their lives advancing civil rights. The moderator, Dr. Caracas Watkins, tells me it's all about education.
When we don't know our history, we don't know what's going on, we can go back to that. So it's very important now that we understand the past, not to hurt anyone, not to shame anyone, but to help us all to go forward. Education is the equalizer. It's the great equalizer.
Leaders from across Huntsville took part in a discussion panel on excellence and leadership in the Black community, answering people's burning questions about how to move forward. Madison County Commissioner Violet Edwards says it's important on a day like today.
There's so much going on in the community that we just don't want to face, but you can't overcome what you don't talk about. So we've gathered here today to talk about some of those issues and prayerfully leave here with some solutions and some healing. Everybody who came for something, to be reminded or to learn, and it is up to us to take these lessons. And no matter who we feel is trying to erase us or don't want to talk about things, we can talk about them. We can spread the message to our youth. We can do anything that we want to do. I truly feel that the power is in this room.
The main topics today, economics and entrepreneurship, raising kids in today's world, and the fight still left to go in a changing political environment. The event ended with a meal shared with everyone who showed up today. Organizers say it's all about involvement and empowerment this Juneteenth holiday. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
After the panel, a commemorative mortgage burning took place to celebrate the Bob Harrison Center being completely paid off. Participants then headed outside for a festival with free food and games for the kids.
Now, all across the nation, Americans are celebrating Juneteenth, and during Game 2 of the Trash Pandas contest, you may have noticed that the Pandas were paying homage to a former Negro League team, the Huntsville Stars. Here's a history lesson about the Stars with Anthony Williams of the Negro Southern League Museum.
Huntsville Stars were considered a minor league Negro League team, and we have a nearly complete uniform from them. And they were the pride of Negro League baseball in Huntsville. A lot of the players that played for Huntsville Stars went on to play with the Birmingham Black Barons. Players like Otha Bailey, Carl Holden, Eugene Scruggs. And it was, you know, around the time of the late 40s and the early 50s, around the integration of baseball. And for those players, they all had that kind of hope that maybe they too could get a part of that major league success. And so teams like the Huntsville Stars were instrumental as far as developing black baseball players and allowing them to have a place to try to have somewhat of a career in baseball.
Hey, thank you so much for watching Fox 54's Weekend Review. You can count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you more great programming with in-depth local specials, locked-on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Gabe Glassman. Have a fun and safe weekend.